Welcome back to On Track with Ben Rhodes. This week, our special guest is Chip Heuser, 2003 graduate of St. X. He's also a professional international pole vaulter. How about that? Hey, welcome.
Thank you very much. I
appreciate you being on.
Congratulations to you on your win.
Thank you.
It was impressive. Very impressive.
Well, let's talk about Vault in the Ville, because Chip is the guy who's behind Vault in the Ville. It's an awesome event. It's one of the coolest events that you'll go to. What was the thought behind this? Because I'm gonna tell you this, folks. They'd have pole vaulting in the middle of 4th Street Live. It's amazing. What was behind this?
Well, it's a funny story. I was just kind of sitting in my backyard with my parents, and I said, I really want to try to bring what we experienced in Europe to the United States, and we called it the Street Vault. So I was lucky enough to have some sponsors the first year. It was 2 years ago, and we pulled it off, kind of last minute kind of deal. Set up a runway right down the middle of 4th Street Live, right in between the two overpasses. And we lucked out. We got around 2,000 people to show up, and it was a fun time. I brought in my friends who are also international Olympic vaulters, and we had a blast.
So this is going to be your 3rd year doing it, and what are your goals and expectations for this year?
Well, it is a charitable event, so first and foremost, we want to raise enough money to help our charity out, which is the Louisville Youth Training Center. Secondly, we'd like to get more people there. I'd like to see around 5,000 people, because it is a fun event. It's a really kind of cool, unique thing. All the restaurants, the bar life. It's there'll be, of course, there's drinking on 4th Street Live, but there'll be an age limit restricted to the bottom floor, so kids can stay and watch, because it is going to go on later into the evening.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the events. I mean, this thing really actually starts. I mean, you have things going on as early as 9 a.m.
My crew will be at 4th Street Live at around 5 a.m. setting up the runway in the pit. And then the competition will start for high schoolers around 8, 9, something like that. We haven't released the final schedule just yet. But after that, it rolls. So we'll have a high school competition, and then we'll have an open/masters competition for college kids, or I train a 40-year-old guy named Gray Smith. He's going to come jump and all that. And after that, we'll do our celebrity vault, which you might be able to come learn the pole vault.
So basically, if I get this right, you're going to have all the pros out there, and then you're going to invite the celebrities to come out and laugh at them, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much what their goal is, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm
going
to try not to embarrass myself too much. I'm going to...
Well, I'll teach you. I'll teach you.
I have a little bit of practice as a little kid, trying to get over those little creeks. Go find a big stick and...
That's the best way to learn. Jump over the fence or something.
Wait, how did you even get involved in pole vaulting?
I did a lot of sports when I was growing up. Swimming, ice hockey, football, soccer, tennis, all that good stuff. Swam for St. X for a year, and I didn't have passion for it. Like, you got to do the things you love. So my dad, who is also an ex-pole vaulter for Florida, University of Florida, decided, let's figure this thing out, let's try it out and see if you like it. So we put a pit in the backyard. I was fortunate enough to be able to have that luxury, and I started jumping. One thing led to another. I ended up jumping 17 feet for St. X, got a scholarship to Florida, went there for a year, and then transferred to University of Oklahoma.
And I know you had an absolute blast out there in Norman.
Norman is a unique place. There's not much to do there, so you have to make your own fun. So, yeah, Oklahoma is a different world for sure. It was track and field, school, and partying. That's about all you could do out there. Really flat.
So racing is a dangerous sport. Now, from my understanding, I know when you're 18 feet in the air, it can get pretty dangerous. Like, what are some of the injuries and stuff that you had? You were talking to us a little bit before the show about it.
Well, just like I was saying earlier, NASCAR racing and pole vaulting have a lot of similarities in the fact that the people that do it are a little bit crazy. We like that adrenaline rush.
You're right. Ben's crazy.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I'm just joking.
They say great minds think alike. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I experienced a pretty bad fall. I landed on my head from about 18 feet in the air, and spent 11 days in the ICU. That was my senior year, so my collegiate career was ended October 31st, 2007. So it was happy Halloween for me. But I got back into it. Like I said, I'm just now recovering from surgery. I pulled my abdominals off my pelvis. So it can be a very brutal sport.
When you fall 18 feet and you crack your head, what is it to get you back in that pit?
Well, if you don't remember, it never happened, right?
Yeah, right. If I don't remember, it never happened. Well, I think if you wreck in a car, you don't want to give up. You don't want to not get back in. You want to get back out there and say, hey, just because I wrecked doesn't mean I can't do better the next time. So I got back on the horse. It took me about 6 months to recover, but I got back into it.
Now, the one thing about Vault in the Ville that we want to, and you kind of touched on a little bit, that you guys help out a lot of folks,
Yes.
doing that with the proceeds. How does these proceeds help out people?
Well, the charity that Vault in the Ville is going to promote and donate to is called Louisville Youth Training Center, and it's a 501c3 public charity under my family's company called Heuser Health. And what LYTC does is it focuses on youth fitness and wellness. So this year we're going to give all of the proceeds to what we call LYTC on the go. We go into elementary schools around our city and out into the state, and we teach, kind of take over their PE programs, and we teach the kids how to exercise, how to eat right, and just live a healthier lifestyle. But not only the kids, we teach their parents and their teachers. So that 1 year we're there, we kind of create this whole dynamic where they can come back the next year without our help, and it just runs in perpetuity.
The youth movement.
Exactly.
That's what NASCAR Next, the group that I'm in, is all about. We're trying to get the youth involved in NASCAR, and it sounds like you're trying to get the youth involved in pole vaulting from Vaultville and health, just
Absolutely.
sports in general, right?
Absolutely, we want to get them off their couches and out into the street.
In the real
We're going to be
world.
jumping. Yeah.
I got to know. When you're heading on down in 4th Street and you got people on either side and you got what is that like?
Oh, it's a
I
rush.
can't. Is that? I mean,
It's a rush.
That's a little something, ain't it, brother?
Music blaring. I mean, the best part is they put the jumbotron in. We're going to use the jumbotron. If you get there in time and can get a spot on the upper railing, the pit sits right underneath one of those walkways. It's the south walkway. You can literally almost reach out and touch the vaulters as they come up into the bar. It's a really cool thing. And there's nothing like looking down 4th Street Live, seeing thousands of people lining a runway with music blaring, and I mean it's a humbling thing, but it's a lot of fun for both the athletes and the spectators.
Now, does the pole vaulter get to pick their music?
Yes, I will allow them to pick their music as long as it's family friendly and has no explicit language.
Well, I got to know what does Chip Heuser come down the runway to?
I was a fan of Macklemore until they overplayed it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to come up with a playlist for this year. Something unique.
All right, I'm going to need AC/DC Thunderstruck.
There you go.
We're
Back in Black.
Yeah. We got to crank this thing
I
up.
believe I can fly. Maybe.
Hey, there you go.
Is
Yeah,
that
I
a good
like
one?
that. Nice.
All right, you need to write all these down for me so that I can make a list.
Well, Chip, thank you so much
Appreciate it,
for
guys.
coming
Yeah.
by. We
Thanks.
sure do appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
Yeah, for sure.
Chip Heuser, Vault in the Ville, June the 7th. It's the same day of the Belmont Stakes. And guess what? On those Jumbotrons, they're going to be playing the Belmont. So you don't have to miss nothing, folks. When we come back to On Track with Ben Rhodes, a very, very special announcement. Stay with us.